In this video, we'll talk about the basic form of pressure measurement. Why do we need to measure pressure? Engineering is about measurement, precision, and accuracy of the desired task, right? So, when do we need to measure the pressure? One example would be to maintain the desired pressure along a pipeline, right? And when you supply water to the community, and we need to know what is the pressure, right? It can also be used to determine flow in the pipe. So once we know the pressure, we can, using the different equations, we can convert the pressure in terms of flow. And to measure the pressure, there are different equipments. The piezometers and manometers are some of the examples of pressure measuring devices. Now, let's talk about these devices briefly. This is a stand-alone piezometer. Okay, so this is one of the simplest instrument that can be used in pressure measurement. This is just like if you poke a hole on a pipe. So this is a pipe with flowing liquid, in our case water, and if you poke a hole here wherever you want to measure the pressure, and if you put a very long vertical tube at that hole, the fluid will rise up to a certain height depending on the pressure inside the pipe. Okay, if the pressure is very high, it go very high. If the pressure is very low, it just rise up to the low level. And that measurement gives us the pressure at that point. This method is useful because this method is very simple, and once we know the height of that liquid, if this is the water, then pressure equals to rho g times h. So it's quite simple, and if the liquid is different, then we just can replace the rho with the density of that liquid, and then we can calculate the pressure. But this method is useful only when the pressure is very low. For example, in normal water distribution system, the minimum required pressure at the customer's node is about 20 meter, and in some cases pressure is allowed up to 80 meter. Okay, so I mean not to the customer's node, but at different locations within the pipe system, you can go up to 80 meter of pressure. So even though like if you have like 20 meter of pressure, which is the minimum recommended pressure from the councils, that means you need to have at least 20 meter of the pipe, vertical pipe, and that is quite difficult, right? So to measure the pressure, you need to have 20 meter vertical pipe. So there we need to know, we need to have some other kind of system to measure the pressure, and where that this different kind of measurement system or differential piezometers comes in. This differential piezometer can be much smaller. Here what you do, you create an enclosed circuit of the tubes with ear in between. Okay, so you poke a hole here, another hole here, and then put the pipe. If you allow the water to go high, then if the pressure is very high, then it like as in the standalone piezometer, it can go 20, 40, 80 meters high even in the water distribution system. But what you do here is apply the pressure from outside. Okay, so this is the pressurized ear, and for example, if the pressure is pressure here is around like 20 meter, then if you put the pressure around that value, then the pressure, this height would be a few centimeter, okay, less than that 20 obviously. Then this height of water would be much smaller that you can measure. So you can decide how much air pressure you want to apply, and based on that you can read the value quite easily in the small instrument. And the difference between these 2 points will give us the differential pressure. So these are the two different types of pressure measurement system, but there are some other methods as well.